Alright, I wanted to take time to go back and review all the details. I need to see to be personally satisfied about the coming release or however the hell that's going to happen with Marvel Tokon Souls, right? This and the Avatar game both I filed my earliest reception in order to get into the beta for in the shared beta test weekend that happened back at the beginning of December. But I just simply didn't get the invite for either or. And so, hey, we move on and we assess what others found. I sought out those closest to me that I'm aware did get invited into the setting, so that way I can just cut right to the chase on what's happening next in the game or for the game. And then I'm just going to go ahead and go to social media. There were others, of course, that did get in the beta that I'm aware of, but I'm not doing the whole social gymnastics in order to get the sit down with some of them. Others are in my chat or in my server, and I'm messaging, hey, I need to have people to talk to about this shit, and I'm not getting these messages back. Respectfully, I don't have time for that shit. After a while, I just want to go ahead, do the interview or do the process to study what the hell the game is about, and then move on with my time. And if I can't have those people's time respectfully in order to delve into these things, or they don't want to give it to me, or they don't want to talk turkey on the game, they just want to talk shit on it, I don't want to hear about all that. Also, flip side of that coin, if they only are sitting here glazing it, sucking its dick off, I also don't want to hear about that either, because there's things right and wrong with the game both that I want to know about. That way I have an idea on what type of product that's going to be. I'm in plain sight. People can return messages at the end of the day if it's important. If it's important. Meanwhile, I'm moving on to the next person's per responsive. My messages are always open for those wanting to delve into the TOKON Souls post-beta now, since we're in post-beta. It's past December the 4th or 5th, whatever the weekend was, that was the first weekend of December 2025. But I'm always open to share thoughts and ideas and shed light on what the game's talking about. That way it can better enlighten and enrich what is going to happen next that the site's going to try to reveal, right? I wouldn't compare the two just yet from what I've seen. It feels like...
I do that with because I play the most. And, for the same type of, when you take them in the air, kind of, or can even just run right in and start punching in and that's it. Well, and it's getting value crazy out of it. It's the same company that makes them, right?
Arxis.
Yeah. So basically, that doesn't make it too complex to the idea, really, because it's, yeah, and then they engage that particular way. I like the fact that you really don't have, like, X Factor or like a comeback thing. It kind of is like you got your ass getting your ass, but there are a lot of. I think that there could be some push blocks in the option for free, but they don't really have that. They give you a defensive pieces. Now I like that the counter does do some damage. There are some counters that does damage, but it's kind of very. Some of them are very minimum. Like the damage was very minimum. I would love for them to nerf the auto combo reward piece. I think that that's not going to happen. They need to nerf some of the damage for the reward that they get. I think that the auto combo should be somewhere between like 16, like just the combo itself, to like 16 to maybe 20%. And then
Sounds about
if you throw in like an EX move or you do the sleeper, you should get somewhere between like 23 to like 27%, 28%. And it's just still, like, I just don't like the reward that you get for just smashing. It's like 30 some percent. And I'm like, well, brother, then this is going to be actually working to learn your like in like non-auto combos. In my opinion, it hinder a lot of the casual players from exploring more of the game because they just get this match there and then watch animation. You know what I mean? You kind of do want them to still like match, like put some brain cells into the game and then also still get the same type of enjoyment.
gonna make a pretty substantial combo where you're out completely all.
Oh yeah, I mean that part too. Like
So the auto combo itself does like a good chunk of damage without the necessitation of expansion.
for that fucking opener. And so it's like 4 touches in the auto combo, and it should be like 5 or 6. Like if you in Freddy's Club next club, then you gotta play the game longer to get that W. But for those that are actually putting in the actual combos and not doing the autos, it should be rewarded for their time. So I had an opportunity to like state all of that in my survey that I did for the game, like discuss why, like in my responses. I literally did put that I believe it should be about a 5 touch game or more for you if you're just doing auto combos after the match. And if you're not, then it should be a 3 touch game for you if you're not doing that, like 3 or 4 of those, and then maybe one opening piece. But it should be really a 3 touch game. If you're doing 35%, that's it. 70 and then 105, that's game. It should literally be 3 touches if you're not auto comboing, and 5 if you are. That gives the other person a reward or payout to get this match over with quicker, and it should make the match because you're not doing fucking combos longer than just square. That's why it's forever.
For scale, light. Or light, the auto combo does more damage than if you were to go in and say light, crouching medium, standing medium, jump cancel, medium heavy, jump cancel, medium heavy, special, hard knockdown.
Yeah, like a more thought out combo for diversity in your routing.
Yeah, you can do a lot more for that second combo than you do that. Like that.
Now, some of the hitboxes we discussed. Some of the hitboxes we discussed. Some of the players, and some of the like hitbox and hit advantage and hit like block damage really. And I think literally like 5 points. It's not even like massive adjustments and stuff. It's like by a point or something. Other than that, and I get that they want it to be like super fast and stuff like that, but there's just certain, I think after certain moves, you should experience a little bit more block time. Like, just doing more frames. I guess if the damage scaling is fixed, then everything is fine. So it's like either you fix the damage scaling or you fix the block time.
Because despite all of that said, Spider-Man has revealed himself to have a 1% feature column.
That makes my blood boil so much.
I know that if you one of your emotes, but
It's trying to put effort in. Like, there's clearly a lot of effort to ensure that, like, there won't be any rounds untied.
yeah,
You just have
also,
to earn.
and so that's another thing. I think that you should count as far as how much you earn at the no round score. Let's say if it's like you're on match point, if you're losing, you should, right? Like, let's say you're 0-2 on the match. You should get your assist to open you up for time. Like, hey, I'm down, or you know what I mean? I'm down now 2 matches, like 2 rounds. So this is the 3rd round, and if I lose, it's over. But I can fucking tie. So like now I have time availability because I have the resources available and the assist available at this point. I can tie my way to victory. You understand?
That's where you should have that. You should get a lot more. It's kind of like you shouldn't be in round 3 still having a lot to assist.
Hang on, so assists aren't unlocked to you at the beginning. They're unlocked to you as the match progresses.
You get through certain things. So you earn them by doing the wall break and also like I think other combos or something.
Before you get mad at the wall break, lad, you can get pretty close. You can have one side, you can push them to the
So you
corner.
get it if you lose.
So you mean to tell me it still strives formula for hurrying people to the corner to wall break?
And see, this is why I
Yes,
was
but
like,
you are also closer to the corner. The map is actually smaller.
yeah.
Oh dear God.
Here's the thing though. So it is one of those like it earning those isn't really super hard. I mean, I played almost a day most matches and I was one fucking fifth the top. Everybody else was having like the full roster. It was the most. Now there's a higher play because then you can start playing guys have more skill and stuff like that. However, it kind of, but the point of that is it was speaking to like my combo route. Now, at certain points, I would get like two of them or three, all of them. Really, and see if you can get the knock the flat is you the punch, and knock the ass is the super finisher, depending on how far away from the wall you were. And so I was gaining my assist just by knocking their ass through the wall by finishing my combo.
Auto combo accomplishes that too.
And so that's another auto combo of getting. So not only are you gaining access to your assist by just mashing that 30 something%, mashing that wall flat, like low key, there's too many things that is being afforded to you if you just hit it square 4 times. Like my brother has probably do something else.
Yeah, this is the Nen Impact Mambo.
When I put in about that, I literally was like, it literally undermined, and it was like, it had the section in the questionnaire, like, how do you feel about auto combos and links? I was like, shit garbage. I told everybody,
Hey, let them know how you feel. Go in.
hey,
Just understand that shit's probably not going to change.
Still.
but at least I said my right?
Correct.
That matters.
And I was like, you know what, let me just say my piece correctly and put it to the developers in a way that it, at least to draw questions, to make them raise an eyebrow, to make them say, this is interesting, or we hadn't considered that, or we know that, but at least now, but we are also aware that the player base is aware of this. And so now how will that leave us in our effect on this? So I at least threw it out there for all builders. You know what I mean? I felt it was important to state these things and how they are a problem and will be a problem for you. So
Because remember that sequence that they showed you that the less damage than the other. You know what I mean? But that's like a high learning anime fighter's combo.
Yeah, it's basically whatever it is that would be like a traditional auto combo-y auto combo.
Like a fundamental combo type thing, like most characters using your crouching medium, standing medium, jump cancel.
Right.
2 and 5/8 jump cancel. Like they all can do that shit. But like if we CNN had a kind of thinking of the preset version for it yesterday on purpose. The auto combo.
yeah, and
Like
so
the winner didn't do an auto combo. No one in top 24 was combo. But like Coach brought the auto combo because he gets that much value out of it.
and so you shouldn't get that. And so that another part I thought about the game was so the cabinet. So when you're doing rank, because they didn't have really a rank system in there, they need to remove the options. They need to treat it like Injustice 2. Where once you sign up for that rank match, you're locked in for that set. If you decide to quit or compete, you take the punishment for the remaining parts of the set that you lost or the set. So if it was a 3-1, like let's say if it was you're in the set for 33 and rank, then you should be locked into that 3 matches. Let's say it's 0-3 and it's or 1-2 and it's their way, then and they were winning in the match and you left. I put all of this in my notes. I was like, then you need to take 2 L's against your record.
Oh, for the for one for not finishing the set, or for
Well, if it was 1 to 2, let's say like you were on you won one versus like one round out of it, and then now it's my turn, and I won 2 of them, and we're on the 3rd match, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna leave because, or even don't even start the match because if I beat you, I'm fucking leaving or whatever.
let her cook, let her cook.
So let's say if you were at 1 and it is the first to 3, you're gonna lose the other 2 matches. On your record, 2 additional matches, so it will behoove you to fucking play. And then they should only give you the option to then cancel with your character roster. From that, the brain inside the game. Change that. In time, okay.
You change your order.
Right, that's your order. Get it, that's fine. But you don't really need a new lineup. But then your 4 characters, they're you can find for the other team. And so at that point, it should encourage that which will encourage players to play the other characters to get understanding of different characters and how stuff on their name. And so at that particular point, I think that you should explore those losses, that loss. And I'm okay with the penalty, so that's why I was like, you make it a penalty severe enough for one that you're okay with.
Right.
If it seems harsh, I'm like, that also means that I'm locked in for 3 matches every time I cut it. And or 6 matches or 5 matches, that's what it takes to win the group.
Right, that's a fair commitment.
One, the reason why I say this too is, one, they cost money for those things. I know they cost money to maintain. In order to start getting like really good assessment of the player base, how the players we actually do. I really like that though. Because when you're collecting data from a developer standpoint, it's simple. I've got every match on here that is out of code. And all of our statistics is out of code. And not somebody won and done, somebody did this and that. Everything should be based out of code in that particular. So then I can be like, hey, out of all of our stuff out of 3 matches, you can see the ones that they did not complete, and you can see the ones you can they did. So this is what I'm saying, yeah, like, and so it allows me to see what my players are really thinking about why are they losing at this point, what's going on, et cetera, to make those adjustments. They intend with the player base. But when you are person, because Street Fighter has that way, they just will play you one and done, each of one and done. Like Strive has that one and done. That shit is garbage.
But they also enforce a penalization system for doing that.
Rain console, Rain and Injustice did it, and they did it very well, and they got away with it. That wasn't like anybody had about it. That, because I'm saying it sounds like it's right. And so because I'm saying it now, it's the right. Because I verbalized it. But if it was already in the game, they wouldn't do shit about it, and I would agree. No, that's because this is a rank, and we're trying to assess your rank. And that's just what I stated when I said, like, what is it rank? We're trying to assess that. It gives both parties a chance to make an adjustment and for you to elevate your gameplay. That's what we want to see. If you're trying to assess your ranking in this game, then if you're bad, you're fucking bad, right? You're bad. But you're too good. Too good out there, you're too Oh, I forgot to put in there,
Like the outline, like what type of penalty that would be logical.
Yeah, like, not that part. They, because, no, I didn't even want that team. I wanted them to put them in lobbies with the same team and stuff like that. Yeah, you put them on their same server. put them in the same fucking server because it was a lot of different players in combat. Like the match will be going very well, and they might be, just the next code, but for the most part, I mean, a lot of the runs were like in the red when you played like the Iacon.
Can't trust those players. Really can't trust them. You get players like James constantly want to put CPS for you.
Sure, but then again, they have that.
Any comment in the server.
Sure, but then they usually can be like, hey, you can refuse it. Do you have any evidence?
The delay and the freezes. They need to do something about that. I wish there was better TODs in the game, like more easier access to like one character TODs, like solo TODing.
So characters can touch of death on that game?
No, I wish that they could, like, especially around like the final rounds when you have access to all of your people. I feel like it should take that. I guess I feel like you should at least need a special to be able to do 10 TODs. Like, yeah, I feel like you should need a special, or at least one assist. And I haven't seen that, and I feel like for a Marvel-esque game, I think they missed out on that piece. That's my own outside. Oh, and you already know my problem with the auto rewards, auto combo rewards. So
Yeah, the fact that auto combos do more damage than combo variety does kind of irk me. It doesn't really variety. Um, what was your immediate reaction to the whole like combat loop? Did it feel fun, clunky, or surprisingly deep?
ish. Like it was easy to kind of. I'm not a big Marvel player. I'm not also a big like tag player. I'm really fairly new to tag games outside of like Dragon Ball and Marvel vs. Capcom. I barely play like the tag right in Mortal Kombat.
Right.
For the most part, it was like easy to get to. I didn't think that the game had like super deep stuff, simply because they like have a meter that stops your combos and like reduces the amount. They kind of have that same combo structure that's in Dragon Ball and also in Power Rangers, where like the meter builds up and then you like can't do shit. So you gotta like figure out how to like get the meter to go down at the same time, like, and they really didn't have ways that like got the meter to go down outside of like your assist and like specials, I mean supers. At that point you end the combo run. I don't know.
Okay.
It just didn't seem like it was massively deep.
No, and I didn't expect that. Like for the beta, it would be too deep. It would be enough for a 48, 72-hour cycle to give you enough to dip your feet in to get an idea of the depth that is kind of there.
I wish that they had more. I wish that they had more buttons similar to like, since you already have that like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 directional. I like games that capitalize on those directionals and different moves. So like a nine P or something like that, and would have been like an angled attack and shit like that.
I mean, there's a lot of command inputs, but just only for the cardinal directions. My biggest gripe is just with the assists. and how they work in combo.
And then what was your take, Edna,
On what?
on
On
Tokon?
like Marvel Tokon Wars, what was your immediate reaction to the core combat loop that was in there for the game?
Well, I thought it was pretty fun. Everyone who played the beta liked it.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just think that it wasn't deep. Like it didn't have. I wish it had more buttons to explore than what it did. Even though I didn't explore those, I wish that they had more buttons. That's why I wish they had like a 9P, a 7P, like a 7K or some shit like. You know what I mean? Like a 3K.
Unless with how the combo system is now, unless they add some like special loops or something, it's pretty clear what basically every single character's optimal combo
And that's
is gonna look like. Because of the limit to how many hits you can have in a combo with the combo thing. With the combo limit, I see what they were trying to do, prevent tides, but it also, I think at a high level you're going to start to see some staleness from the game, just because what it ends up doing is that means you want to get the most out of all of your hits, the most damage for all of your hits, and basically every full combo is a coast to coast, so you're going to corner carry regardless of what routes you take. And the most you'll get out of basically everything is heavy punch into a special, call your assist, heavy punch into a special, call your assist, because you're doing 2 hits, your 2 strongest hits, into an assist, which reduces the hit counter by 2. So your first 3 times through that loop will be completely free, and then you do an actual combo after that involves 2 EX moves if you have 150, and then your ultimate, and that's an optimal. But that will be an optimal for every character in the game with the exact same button sequence. Like
the same format.
Yeah, as it is right now.
And that's all that I was disappointed that they didn't have more buttons. And more ways, like routes.
Yeah, something between how the combo system locks the combos and how assist work in combos actually severely limits like combo creativity. And a lot of the creativity would come from like what you could do mix wise in the neutral, in terms of using your assist and tagging in and the different types of lockdowns you can create. But most of the time your opponent won't be holding that, and they're gonna cross counter it or whatever it was called.
Next question. What character felt the most refined in this build, and which felt unfinished?
I think Storm felt unfinished.
I don't know about that. I think Storm is just depth. If there is depth, most of it lies with her character, and that she has like the fundamental combo structure, but then you actually get to alter how it works because of her wind passive.
She can get zombies easily too.
How does she play in this game compared to the past MVCs that she was in?
Massively different. She's still, well, not massively different, because technically she's still a zoner.
Because on the Tokon side, apparently she has lightning loops.
Yeah. Everybody's got loops. That's not even the issue. It's that they limit how many hits you can do in a combo. So there's really only certain types of combos that come with big payoff.
I think Capt is good. Also, you know what? I think he might be the one that's also unfinished as well.
That's what I was thinking.
I think what they were trying to do with the shield was good. I think they may make it, if you toss it on the way back, it hits as well.
I don't necessarily know that unfinished is appropriate for what the game was. Most of the cast feels finished.
No,
but
what's his name needs to be nerfed.
Spider-Man needs to be stopped.
Spider-Man and Star-Lord need to be nerfed.
If the game were to drop as is, they like clear S tiers compared to the and Ghostrider.
Needs to be nerfed to the ground immediately.
Look back here. I was just looking at a Ghostrider thing here. How does Ghostrider play? Strike throw.
Kind of Axel Low / Dawson.
Yeah, like Axel from Guilty Gear. Not Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
No, not Guilty Gear, but I thought he was also
Is that how it was?
Axel Lowe's and Guilty Gear.
The one that with the chain that was
Axel.
Yeah, that's Axel. Yeah, that's Axel.
He's sort of Dawson in that the chain has a hurt box. You can hit the chain.
So like Fairy from Grand Blue.
Okay, sure. I don't know. I haven't played Grand Blue, but that's why I said Dawson.
Okay, fair enough. Fairy is a character that kind of controls mixing. Her whip is also a hitbox and a hitbox.
Yeah, long range normals. That's kind of long range normals in a game that has a lot of mix and easy confirms. He just basically has long range normals.
That was done out there. We can play one while we wait now for my food to cool down. This will be my last.
All right, I'm ready.
And he's sort of Dawson because you can hit the chains.
Start it up, buddy.
Box.
Okay, what was in this after that? Pause. Okay. Next question. How well do the Marvel character powers translate into the game's combat style?
Pretty good.
Yeah, really well.
I do like the weather manipulation piece for Storm. I like Capt's thing. I really like Foot Dive.
I mean, I think in terms of presentation, it's peak. It's some of the best in the business.
Okay.
I would say just as much so that as Fighters is visually Dragon Ball, like this one is visually Marvel.
Okay, so it did deliver.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to it?
Add what?
The question.
Oh, there was a question? I was just saying stuff.
I mean, that works too.
Yeah, I'll chime in when I think I got something useful to say.
Next question.
I really want to be a Storm player, but fuck that character.
Why you say that?
I tried to learn Storm and was like, this ain't for me. This ain't for human beings.
She's definitely the hardest character in the game because you have to play the fighting game.
This the character where you gotta jack in.
Yeah.
You got the little robot thing in the back of your head. You gotta jack in, brother.
I played somebody that was good at her, and I realized my ideas weren't. I was like, oh.
So she's the skill ceiling character.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
A lot of her moves she places stationary, and you can move them however you want with the wind. You can also control things like how your opponent flies away, or if they even do fly away. In combos and pop-ups and stuff. There are moves where you can control Storm's trajectory with her wind. Like when she turns into the tornado and tackles you, you can control her trajectory of that with the wind.
Hello?
Oh, this is similar to like what the eggs want to. So it feels like
ceremony introductory.
I can't think of the hitmaster wind dude from DNF. It's the same concept of using wind to control positioning and maneuverability by input design for his nerf.
Yeah,
because he was like top 2, top 1 simply because of that core feature in his mechanic and using wind.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't the wind god in fucking Mortal Kombat crazy?
Yeah, Fujin was wild.
Fuji. Yeah, that was my dude. But I also understood the sacrifice with that, and why he probably come back again.
Never.
He was absolutely wild. They don't need to do that again.
That's done for a while.
If that's his core kit, it doesn't translate well to be fighting game.
No, I got a gun, man.
If that's what Fujin does, nah, Chief. An omnidirectional gun, but also wind powers, but also amazing normal. Nah, Chief.
Then next question. What's the current state? What was seen regarding hit detection or animation canceling input buffering?
I mean, in terms of feel, it feels like an Arc Sys game. It feels like Fighters. If that makes sense. I mean, it felt clean. It felt good to play.
Unfortunately, if that was his core kit, he couldn't come back for real. He didn't come over here now, bro. Fusion is done. And anybody that controls the elements like that is done.
The Storm will be insane.
Gang is
at a certain point, because wait till people start realizing that means she could do like ambiguous fast fall mix.
Right. So it would be a almost broken combat design. Maybe combat.
It has a high ceiling.
It would be an effective design.
Very high ceiling. Changing the trajectory on projectiles, like what?
Her own version of perfect parry? Hello?
Her own projectiles, not enemy projectiles.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. Now I see where the ceiling was.
But she can alter the trajectory of them, like at any point with the wind. One of them is a freeze. And the wind movement is like an assist. She can do that stuff like while doing other stuff.
Does anything what you could see between the lobby or the downtime presentation, does anything hint at how the full game may handle like unlocks and progression? Maybe even cosmetics for that instance.
There's gonna be a lot of little chibi skins running around there. Now that's the microtransaction.
Yeah, the lobby you have like little chibi characters like in Dragon Ball, but you use the arcades like in Guilty Gear.
They're watching the fights in real time. That's cute.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. If you look at the cabinets, even outside of spectating, if you look at the cabinet screens, you can actually see the fight.
The little knob thing in the middle of each cabinet, like in each game pod, is cute too. A little joystick.
What are the game pods in there?
The joystick thing where you can move around.
It's a circle of arcade cabinets, and then inside the circle is a
question.
Actually interact.
Are you guys in the current game? Or are you guys in the lobby?
No, we're just So just talking right now.
Okay. Oh,
Tokon.
so it's like perfect timing. The game just downloaded.
I'm trying to venture into the madness.
Yeah.
Your name should be Stain Coochie.
Oh my god.
Thank Coochie, last name Mandingo.
Gucci Mandingo.
Like, and they did beat me in that round. I won the fight. I'm not gonna lose to no damn button masher, but it's the fact that they can win a round or two on you doing that with no skill whatsoever. Fighting games is supposed to be the opposite of that. It's supposed to reward people who put in the grind and put in the time. And this is kind of why Tekken 8 is kind of struggling now. I should not bust my ass off learning one character for a few days just for some butterface ass nigga to get on and turn on casual mode with L1 and then mash one button and do half the shit that I learned in lab mode with the push of a single button, bro. I spent a whole day trying to learn that combo. You're telling me someone can buy this game right now and do that with the push of a single button now? Like, I don't like that.
Okay, so here I'm noticing that Marvel Tokons did go on ahead and leave their end of the year message here for closing out 2025. This is actually just the other day. It's a year-end message from producer Takeshi Yamanaka to all the Tokon fighters. So, dear Takeshi Yamada, this is This is Takeshi Yamaka, the producer of Marvel Tokon Souls. Thank you so much to all the players who participated in our second closed beta test. We also truly appreciate the many heartfelt messages submitted through the survey. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. We haven't yet finished... where am I at? We haven't yet finished reading through every comment, but we are sincerely taking it in all of the feedback, both the positives and the area that need improvement. The team is pushing forward with development, and we will continue refining and improving the game based on the opinions you shared with us. 2026 will be a big year for us. Our whole team is working hard to make this a game that you will enjoy for years to come, a title that will continue to grow with its community. We still have more characters to announce, along with more exciting moments where you'll be able to see the game in action. Stay tuned. Happy holidays. So far, this has almost 300,000 views on engagement. I know there's a handful of people that already comment over here. I already see Bums right here on the side. I'm going to get to him because I know Bum had a hell of a lot to say. As much as I don't like listening to the dude, he has a hell of a lot to always say about something, and he's usually very thorough. That makes you open your eyes about something. So I'm going to get back to Bum in a second. I want to take a look at the retweets, and then we're going to take a look at the main Vine here. So see Omega Lancy, they're talking about new characters. Rooflemonger. Marvel Tokon officially announces they will eventually announce more characters. Yeah, an announcement for an announcement, so whatever. Magneto meme. I can see Magneto probably being in the game. This guy's take I find very fascinating. Not trying to be hateful, but the lack of character announcements and the negative reception of the tag system is really holding back this game's true hype. Y'all can hate me for saying this, but they need to start announcing more as soon as possible and fix up some gameplay problems. I am kind of on board with this take here from BlueKuma. It's good to have announcement of characters, but you also need to have announcement of mechanics in the engine. That way the little qualities of life also align with the quality of life with characters. Negative reception by who? YouTube. In the FGC in general, the game doesn't know if it wants to be a 1v1 with assists or a tag fighter. The mechanic clash with each other is too much at the moment. Nah, Alpha was great received. The negative stuff didn't show up. These fuckers can't spell for shit. Didn't show up until beta. As Maximilian Dude himself said, it will take a few character announcements before people forget all the bad things they said about this game. That's probably why they want to try and do the I mean, that is one direction they could push in terms of wanting to go more characters in their routing as opposed to doing the background work and fixing the bugs and added mechanic niceties that would be more complementing first and not later. So I guess they want to backtrack. And we got Dadays here, more to talk about. Stay tuned. Hopefully we get a roster update soon, so that's another thing about characters. Thank you, thank you. This puts me at peace. I love this message, and I'm looking forward to the new year. I mean, that makes one of us. Okay, so Marvel Tokon's end of the year update is... Oh, hang on. Zeno TG has a pretty good one here. She's a YouTube partner in VTuber. Okay, so Marvel Tokon's end of the year update is more character reveals confirmed. 2026 is still the intended release date for Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, yes. Support for the game post-launch. Still a little nervous about the format in which we will receive all of these reveals, but I'm excited nonetheless. Okay, so that one kind of pivots towards understanding the focus of platform preferencing. That's Twin Slash. Excited for Marvel Tokon Souls release. I really hope they do it right. I can't wait to see what they announce. Please let it be Venom or Gwenpool and Wolverine Deadpool. We still have more characters to announce. Yeah. Why would you lie to me and say there's more characters? Them character trailers gonna hit crazy next year. Do they have a lot of those though? That's what I'm kind of curious on. The more I'm thinking about it, a wall of text means literally nothing to me. I've seen walls of text announce the cancellation of more games than it has ever given me hope for a future. ArcSys peaked at DBFZ and we all know it. Grandmaster 2XK. Okay, interesting take. Constantine just has that. Can't wait for the full game to release. Oh, that's the homie Zettaslow. Honestly, it's good to hear from the team of Tokon. It shows they aren't gone, and the acknowledgement of how things have been handled so far is reassuring. They want to do well. I can agree to that. And then Ultimate Shadow Marvel Tokon plans to announce characters. You can all thank my journalism later. AurryKen. Who's this one? AurryKen. The game won't be at EVO. The devs are talking to us about 2026 as a big year all the same. They've got all the time in the world to work on improving the gameplay and announcing the rest of the roster to us. I have faith that in the end we'll get something really cool. Might as well post it now. My most wanted characters in the game. You know what? I'll leave that alone. I'll leave that to the imagination. You guys out there can read it if you want to look at the post and who you guys think, or just leave it down below who you think would be the favorable characters in order to make an appearance in a Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. I see a Deadpooler out there. A lot of people had a lot to say about the beta. The beta. Just let the devs work. Save your criticism for the full product, and even the give it a couple of months before you shit on it. Dude, I need you to understand grammar. Like, not now, but right now. Beautiful illiterate man. Aigiato Takeshi-san for your hard work. For making Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls the easiest game to get into. I'm hoping for more characters and cross-platform. That's the first time I heard anybody actually say cross-platform. No way you guys actually thought the announcement roster was the launch roster. I sure hope the hell nobody did. We still have more characters to announce. I would hope so. It's a 4v4 game with only 8 characters revealed so far. Yeah. Hard shot in the dark. Surely this comes to Xbox, right? I mean, if it's cross-platform, probably. More characters and moments to see the game in action. Take all the time you need. I want this game to cook. Just address the bigger issues so this won't be a Strive DBZ moment where it takes 2 to 3 years for the game to open up. Yeah. Genuinely the worst message. Kind of, sort of agree. Please, just a crumb of character reveals. Nah. You need more comms like this. This might be your most popular game ever. Don't F this one up, I trust. Oh, Dragon Von Doom. I'm praying that this game doesn't come out until fall, winter 2026. The game needs more time in the oven. Tag mechanics, simple combo damage, combos in general I feel like needs more stun. So most combos don't feel so short. Assists on hit block need a major rework. Okay, so it's kind of janky in terms of how assists, when you do want to utilize them, function in terms of creating pressure, helping pressure, or creating plus on block situations. Game also needs at least 1624 characters on release, in my opinion, to make the 4v4 aspect worthwhile. I can agree to 16 or 20. I can agree to 16 or 20. 24 tops. That's if they even give that much reveal or that many reveals the time of day to make it more well-rounded. And then we got Giovanni here. It's a gigai. At this point, if we got a reveal of 2 characters, I'd be really disappointed. It's been 6 months with no other characters announced, soon to be 7. Small roster in a 4v4 just ain't it. I definitely agree there. Size is everything in a roster like this, and so, you know, going through all that trouble in order to just have not that many isn't really that much of an intrigue. It's Metal Doom, so that's a whole Dr. Doom dude introduced Metal first. They read my, so this game is going to have any promotion comment. Alright, Slyon, that was a G. I'd hope you'd still have more characters to announce. We only still have the main 8 from the reveal. I'm excited, but I'm shocked it's taking this long to get any word of mouth of the main selling point. If this roster is sub 20 base roster, I'll be upset low-key. And then Doobie, I hope this game doesn't just come out till like November next year at the earliest. They need to let it cook because the beta was rough. I could kind of believe that take from what I've been seeing so far in some of these things. I've got Lupis Wolven. I had a lot of fun with this game. My only gripe is having to watch multiple long supers go off, and that's it. I'd rather it be closer to 2x KO's freestyle system, but if they end up having a deep roster and maybe some guest characters, I'm all in. It's too early, in my opinion, to really claim that they would take a guest character route this early. They got the IP big enough to do it, but I don't think they would do it this soon. The developers' message sounds very positive and promising. I'm really excited about Tokon next year. When it comes to fighting games, that will definitely be my highlight next year. It sounds also like they have a lot of plans with the brand. I'm so pumped. I can appreciate that the devs are willing to communicate and take our feedback seriously. That's the key thing. Will they take it seriously? One of them characters better be Magneto Dog or Blade. Blade would be gas. I wanna, bro. Excited. Yeah. What's the original? Oh, he's not of this country. Okay, but I'm sure you can still see that all the same. Veramos, Deadpool, Superior. Oh, he's just going over characters. It's characters. So yeah, it's more so characters and making sure that they actually finish some stuff that's going on in the game, along with characters to announce, mechanic feedback, and then that's it. And then like one dude that talked about the potential of cross-platform. That's the only one I've heard so far. Was just like mainly that one. All right, and these are all from post engagement. So if you guys want to see the post engagements, I'll have the general post there. That way you guys can see what's going on. Now we'll go to the main post here. So I'll go on ahead and read Bum's thing here since he's been so kindly looking me in the side of my eye like I gotta wait. So let's read Mr. Boomba. Alright, it's obvious that there will be more characters to come, but here are my issues with the game. The game is a freeze fest. Call the assist, it freezes. Launch them up, freeze. Tagging someone, freeze. It's disrupting the flow way too much. It's also way too much cinematics happening as well. Throw at the corner cinematic that takes like 3 seconds of your time. Do a super cinematic that takes like 5 to 10 seconds as well. Combine all of these things, just becomes a huge disruptive problem for the game that's really not needed. Suggestions to fix the issues. Calling assists should never freeze the game. Throws should have the option to break the wall by making it that you hold the throw buttons, in which will force the wall break. Some supers last too long, and maybe they can be sped up or just cut it down a bit on the cinematic. Watching the TNS tournament proves that there are more difficult rewarding combos to do, but ABC auto combos still do way too much damage for something so simple. Suggestion: lower the damage on auto combos a bit more to make players want to learn the harder routes. I agree. Also, give us more difficult combos for the hardcore players that love pushing fighting games to its limit or beyond it. So your character selection screen, man, this dude has a whole twit longer here on Twitter. You must have Twitter Blue. Also, give us more combo suggestions. Lower the damage. Yeah, I already read that part. Also, give us more difficult combos for the hardcore players that love pushing fighting games to its limit or beyond. Character selection screen. I personally think every character should have different health values that will increase the single life bar. Example: Captain America with 1000 HP, Iron Man with 1000 HP, Spider-Man with 800 HP, Hulk with 1200 for a total life bar of 4000. In the middle of the game, the life bar will show 2000 out of 4000. You can turn this off by going to the menu and go to options if that's too distracting. Character selection screen, part 2. Also, when choosing an assist for a character, a preview box pops up with the information on the assists, letting you know the properties and other value information needed before choosing the assists. Oh, he's talking about trying to make like an Overwatch prompt on a game, on this game's engine. It's like a Overwatch prompt on how you can pull the tab down in order to look at general schematics and statistics of a character value. Let me see here. A preview box pops up with information on the assist, letting you know the properties and other value information needed before choosing the assist. Example: you pick Star-Lord on the anti-air assist. A preview video pops up, shows the move in action, and gives you value information on the move before choosing it. So new players know what they picking before a match, instead of learning how it looks or plays midway during battle. Stages should not be unique as far as how many stages breaks exist. I think this would cause a huge divide in ruling, and there should be a set tournament standard that exists within the game made by the developers to avoid worldwide divide. Please, Marvel Tokon developers, make sure you set a tournament standard option that makes sense for the game. Do not allow the players to set the rules, because it's possible that it can be very problematic. There's no probable, it probably will. Let's see here. These are my personal issues with the game, and hoping to see some changes that will increase a much better flow to the game. Okay, so I can agree with a lot of this take from what I've seen here from Bum. Let's go back over here. Let's take a look back at the main page. So from what I'm seeing here so far is, besides the lack of the training mode, that's just what happens in the last handful of betas that have come out for some games, which that shit really needs to stop. What is it? There's the freeze, where there's like bugs in the hub command system that aren't smoothed out yet. There's cinematics that are taking too long. There's an imbalance of super call time, if I'm not mistaken. Then there's the single health bar problem. There's the combo limit gauge and the minimal hit stun deterioration process. It's suffering an identity crisis between the tag versus the 1-versus-1 template. And then there's also subtle stage complications. and like stage complications where like this was a whole fighters and strive thing where maps, sexy as they are, do generate brief lag or may create it long term or in long term matches if it's not well handled or toned down or if it's too animated. It's like it's too much where it creates a split ruling whether or not it's going to be allowed in tournaments or if it's going to be allowed in regions for tournaments. Some regions may allow it, other regions will not. Like case in point, like Dragon Ball FighterZ with Destroyed Namek and sometimes South City, or Guilty Gear Strive with its DLC stages like Lap of the Kami or Tir Nanog or the White House Reborn maps. Great map designs, beautiful map designs, but those suckers generate lag on some hostings. So going into this, so the single health bar, the shared health bar for all characters simplifies matches for sure, a little too much, but it removes the natural combo breaker points that multiple bars provide, which just leads to a number of high stakes one and done combos where you make the one mistake to potentially lose the game, or it leads to the main decision point of the game. That's like simplifying a whole Marvel neutral formula down to doing neutral in order to bait specific moves, then corner carry or just happy birthday, quote unquote, the person if optimal enough when mistakes are made. Then you don't do anything else because it goes against the game's set formula of movement to purely attempt or do a two-touch. Then there's the combo limit gauge, or the minimal hit stun deterioration. That focuses shorter, more defining combo potential compared to the old Marvel vs. Capcom style. This alone, in my regards, eliminates the need of self-expression because it's damn near non-existent. You're forced to keep combo structure simple, as simpletons can do, in a progressively light corner carry formula to force wall break or set up into wall break. It's promotionally hypocritical, in my opinion, to its founding IP principle that Marvel made in the face of wanting to make casuals more and more invested and devoted to the art of whatever this game is supposed to be or emulate from old Marvel vs. Capcom that came before. So it's easier to start opening it up more down the line, I'm assuming. Like turning casuals into PvP goers, when if you made it less casually friendly from the start right here, it weeds out a lot of the undedicated from the dedicated in the casual market right there. And it turns those dedicated casuals that are looking for a good time here into PvP lovers of the game and future Marvel combatants, which is ultimately what you want, right? Like, why? Because there's like, why is this such a thing? Because there's more of an agreeable direction that the player base could be on deck for without needing to dumb it down. Also, it would accommodate the more hardcore FGC goers. A lot of the Marvel crack babies, there's some of them that are probably out here, that just keep stumbling across these godforsaken combos and bombos when they're trying to generally push the fighting game to its limit or beyond that. They make a lot of amazing crap happen that doesn't even seem incalculably possible, but you'd be surprised what they see. But the thing here is that that can't be seen here because the mechanics don't allow that. Most people learn the game enough to see that these details will be impactful later, not so much immediately. Many people feeling that the game's played more like a 1v1 fighter with assist mechanics rather than a true tag fighter actually using assists, period. It's basically just offense. Basic offense doesn't strongly encourage tagging characters in and out. They're just there. That's basically like the Butterface's attempt that Mortal Kombat 1 committed to in being a tag-paced game, quote-unquote, with its stupid cameo system to emulate the second person in the aggressor concept of your rushdown game to go pressure the opponent, not the alternative character to switch to with a pool of their own to appropriately optimize your neutral and defensive aspects in resource management. And then, what is it? Some of the stupid controversy I could see with some of this, honestly, is just player expectation versus reality, with the pivot of a little bit of the stuff I've read over here, where it's the entitled feeling that people think they should have been there when you just clearly weren't picked, period. And the people that were, whom both liked it, and those that liked it but will tell you there's no depth with it. Hell, I didn't even get into this beta, or I know jack shit about how Marvel gameplay really works outside playing a lot of its successors that have tried to keep its idea going, to know that a tag-based game has to have depth in order for it to have a lot of tag lovers open this game up with its base mechanics before the base mechanics show you that there's more. Like, a light red flag to me right now was the direction of the mechanics that they're wanting to favor and whom they're favoring. The wall break shit that's here is a red flag for me that comes directly from Guilty Gear Strive. That's what drove me away from actually wanting to invest further into Guilty Gear Strive, past the shit that New York was doing at accommodating times during my earlier scheduling from like a couple years back when Strive was more meaningful to me to invest in. But that wall break shit is a Strive mechanic that could have just stayed in that game. It's a very crappy part of the neutral reward in eliminating the opponent's defensive aspect and option off of corner carry. It breaks the flow of the game. That's the whole problem. It creates a problem. It doesn't solve one. Like, between the wall break mechanic that's here and assists that can be assists but don't really warrant the need of rotation like proper assists playing, it tells me in the undertone sense that this is another example where the game and its development principle can't commit to the target audience it wants, between either being a 1 versus 1 style or a tag style, and it's screwing itself over on some fronts now because of that. Like, people in the section here are hung on the fact that it's just 8 people on the roster, which, yes, it is low on a Marvel versus IP fighters that could and should have more. However, there's other more important details in the background that were amiss here. Small details I noticed barely anyone is talking about was like the fact like Tokon's beta was like only a PS5 beta. There was nothing here to accommodate PC. As a matter of fact, there was nothing here to accommodate crossplay in that regard. That's a very big red flag to me in the background that wasn't stated, but was addressed by 1 or 2 people here in the audience of however many people that are here. I'm surprised that there's no push to have the gameplay just be 1v1 style so it commits to a direction push, or it could just house a 1v1 game mode to attempt to complement the way it's played, or the way it's played right now. I'm surprised more people and people that entered the beta weren't talking about the auto combo issue right in your face. Not just a few, but many more. That way it would warrant a tone down, and it would then push the navigation of harder combos to do, not just the easy combos because it's the most rewarding. That way it's more productive, not unproductivity. I'm surprised a few people mentioned the delay release to 2027, which I kind of co-sign on. There's more people that should, instead of wanting to push the narrative of these options that they need to edit into the game or work out with its engine, instead just push the game release back. That way there's no hustle to make a game more crappy than it's going to be by the time it gets here on market value. That way it has a chance of actually having a reputable audience, a reputable process to finish cooking whatever the rest of its mechanics or the vision that this guy in Japan, whatever the author is here, made for this game, and it can actually be carried out in better light of the older Marvel versus Capcom style. Also, I'm surprised no one so far has mentioned that there needs to be a follow-up survey to complement all of this feedback that they're very clearly getting, that I keep reading here, that are again going into pinging their favorite streamers in order to go over this stuff, or pinging for more characters, or when there's going to be another beta release, or the character reveal trailers. Like, the points that I pointed out, I think are a lot more important than another character reveal, in terms of priority, yes, a character reveal is important to put more people on the roster, but all these points for the gameplay niceties and the high points for gameplay that add to the returning value and revenue, I think, are more important than a new character. But that's everything that I can read up so far. I do personally still wish I had a chance to actually go into the game myself and try to enjoy it. But at the same time, I mean, I guess it looks like I really didn't miss too much. So, 6 in one end, half a dozen on the other, or the grass is greener, whichever metaphor suits this correctly.